Hi, my name is Ibrahim Abdullah, and today I'm presenting my hotel reservation system built using JavaFX for the front end and MongoDB as the backend database. So I designed this project with an MVC architecture, meaning I kept all my models, views, and controllers the same, and not the same, separate to keep things organized and scalable. So for project structure, so as you can see, I have a model folder, and then controller, and then for the util, which I need to delete the view folder, but I used the util one basically for that. And that's resource as well that contains all my fxml files. And so the model folder that holds all the Java classes like room, guest, and reservation. The controller folder which holds all the controllers, so the main ones being the admin dashboard, the welcome screen, and then a lot of the stuff relating to adding rooms, bookings, things of that nature. And so for MongoDB, right over on this here. So for MongoDB I have the main database called guest info, which contains reservation, guest, reports, and then room information. And so I connect to the MongoDB database with the MongoUtil class, which is right over here. And so for the key functionality, so on the admin dashboard, which is right over here, I'm displaying all the rooms, guests, and reservations using table view. And these are all populated from MongoDB collecting collections using model bindings. And so I also added full CRUD functionality, so adding room, editing, and delete. And then for reservation and guests, so guests and reservation are loaded the same way using table view from the admin side. I can remove guests and cancel reservations easily. And the data does update in the real time thanks to loaded guest data and load reservation data methods. And so I also added the report feature. I believe that was in the requirements. So that also shows the total guest, total revenue, and the most booked room. The result is also saved as a document under the reports in the MongoDB collection. So right over here, we can actually see the recent reports that I had during the testing phase. And then as for the front end, so I designed the UI entirely in fxml and styled it using inline styles instead of CSS for simplicity. Also because I was on a time crunch. And then so for each of the fxml files, they're obviously linked to a controller. So for example, the admin dashboard controller is directly linked to the admin dashboard fxml file. And so the booking confirmation screen was a bit tricky. The done button wasn't closing at first, but then I managed to fix it moving forward. So for things that I learned, so obviously this project helped me understand how to use JavaFX with MongoDB, which we didn't really work on before. Before I was using like text files, so I just save it locally. And then working with table view and property bindings and a more in-depth structure like MVC structure. And so the main challenges I faced was obviously the MongoDB connecting and then the wrong documentation structure. Having combo boxes, duplication values, and accidentally re-adding a lot of items. A few fxml files were being mislinked, which caused the app to like distribute the wrong information and also caused a lot of crashing to happen. And then also I had to learn how to refresh tables properly after every action. And so now for the demo, if we just go to the main.java file here, and then we run this, then so let's start off as a guest. So full name, let's just put my full name. Oops. And then for the phone number, obviously I'm not going to put my original, but there is validation on all of this, so I have to have 10 digits. The email address we just put at gmail.com. For the address we can do 123 Toronto. Number of guests, let's put 3 for now, and then check-in date, random date. There is validation on this as well, so we do have to put a correct date. And let's just say we're staying it for 5 days. And so the only thing I do get is this error here. I'm not too sure how to fix that, to be honest, but I guess we could look into it in the future. So as you can see, guest details were saved successfully. And so we can choose which room to book clearly, and let's just choose the first one. And so there you go, booking is confirmed. So this information actually gets saved. We can view all of it in the admin database. So if we go to admin login, type in the information. There we go. So these are all past tests that I was doing for finalizing. So let's say I want to get rid of one, we can just cancel the reservation, it should go away, yep. And then for rooms, we can view all the rooms, we can actually filter the rooms as well. So let's say we do single, apply filter, done. And then if we wanted to add a room, we can just write ID number, so 0045 or 4, whatever. And then, so this is another error that I have, but I believe it's a pretty simple fix. I'm just a bit low on time. So if we do deluxe, number of bed, let's say 3 beds. Well, it would be 2 beds. Price it at 250. And the status obviously available. And there you go. So now we can see the deluxe bed, and the room ID is 5. We can also edit all these options, so if we wanted to make it occupied, now it shows as occupied, and we can also delete it. Moving forward to guests, we only really have the option to remove guests, but we can also view all the information related to them. So if we want to remove this guest, there we go. And as for reports, we can generate a report. It does take a little bit of time. So there we go. All this information is clearly shown. And it does actually all get saved to the MongoDB database. Right over here. It does take a while to load, sadly, but that's just how it is. And so there we go. The most recent update, I believe, is right down here. Yeah. And then lastly, we have the settings. This is mainly as a placeholder. I'm not really sure how to do this, but definitely something I can work on towards the future. So I guess we can also add that onto the challenges phase. And then lastly, we have the logout function where I can just log out and it takes us back to the main screen. That's my entire presentation, and thank you for listening.